afternoon, John. So we're here to talk about the movies group, or are you? Is that what you're calling it, or have I just invented that name?
Well, not really. I mean, I called it the movie club, but
Right.
it's perhaps not supposed to do that. It is a group, as defined by the U3A, so movie group, yeah.
So I know it hasn't happened yet, but what are your plans?
Oh, the plans are very well advanced. I've got a whole list of films that I propose to show, um, and they're all lined up already, and I've chosen them for interest purposes. So the first one is not so interesting. It's John Wayne and Stagecoach, which I think was his first cooperation with John Ford. And the things to notice in that film is the scenery, which perhaps we're a bit blasé about now, but in those days it was absolutely magnificent. And the build-up of John Wayne as a star. So the opening shot of John Wayne, he sort of turns, and as he turns, the camera moves in on his face. So it's a really big intro for John Wayne, and he looks very handsome as well, of course. But that's the first one. Others, not in this order, are a film called I'm All Right, Jack, which is about the union movement in the 50s with Peter Sellers, and the principle is that the management are snooty and are prepared to create a crisis which makes the union say everybody strike, because they didn't used to pay them, of course, in those days, so it saved the company money. So it's unscrupulous management and aggressive unions. There's another film similar to that called The Angry Silence with Richard Attenborough, not David, Richard Attenborough, in which he crosses the Union line and is sent to Coventry, and the life for him and his family with his being sent to Coventry. Very sad film, very sad. I'm trying to think of others.
If you were to describe the sort of films you're going to view in the club, is there a description you could put which would encapsulate all of them?
No,
right.
I deliberately want to avoid that because I don't want to be predictable.
Right.
But my wife has bought me a magnificent book about movies, not about. It was written by a book club, and the sort of questions and principles they delve into in reading books, I'm not going to apply those principles to the movies. So it's not just what do you think of the director and the star, but also the principles in the film that you can discern for yourself. So it's a fascinating book and full of questions all the way through, and I intend to. The questions are so valid that there are many people at the end of the film would think, well, if only I'd had that question beforehand, I would have looked at the film differently.
Yes.
So I'm deliberately going to display a board with about 4 or 5 questions on, so that they can see that board permanently while they're watching the film and be reminded to look at the film with those questions in mind. That's just the start.
Okay.
And then at the end of the film there'll be a lot more questions and points. Not questions, did you see that, and so on, but on opinions.
So it's going to be a real experience, not just watching, but actually analysing in a friendly way with each other about what the film was about.
Very much so. The music lasts from 2 o'clock till 4 o'clock, but the film, for obvious reasons, must be longer than that. So we're making it 1 o'clock till 4 o'clock, because that will give us plenty of time to have a chat about the film itself. And I'm having an interval halfway through where my wife will go around with a tray around her neck
I can remember when there used to be intervals in the cinemas, when they had the B movie as well.
Yeah.
None of that now. So, where is this all going to take place?
In my front room.
Okay.
We've got a large TV, so it's be visible for everybody. But I've restricted the numbers.
Right.
And in fact, every seat is full up already before we've even started.
But presumably, if someone leaves, then you'll be welcoming other people.
Very much so. Yes.
To join.
Yes.
And will there be any cost apart from the choc ices in the interval?
There'll just be the 50 pence. That's all in a jar.
So, anything else you'd want to say about it? Because you've given us lots of information, but is there anything else you'd want to tell us about it before we move on?
I've never run a movie club before, so I'll be literally learning as I go along, and I'll therefore probably make mistakes at the beginning. But those that have belonged to book clubs can probably guide me, and I'm very happy to listen and be guided.